Hey, welcome back to Kotlin Conversations, where we're having conversations with some of the amazing people here at KotlinConf 2023. I have three very special guests now. I'm very excited. I have here the winners of the Kotlin Multiplatform Contest. As usual, I'm Quinn Dao, and I'm very lucky to be speaking with
Ahmed from Turkey.
Mateusz from Poland.
Brian from Kenya.
Ahmed, Mateusz, Brian. I have three guests to kind of interview all the same time. This is going to be really fun. But thank you so much for joining me. I mean, you're all three of you are still studying in school, and you joined the student contest. I guess we'll just go in a row, and I want to ask you all, what is it that inspired you to take part in the contest? We'll start with you, Ahmed.
I saw tweets on Twitter, the contest about students, and I clicked the link and checked the requirements, and I said, why I not try? Just try, it's free. Yeah. And I tried, and I haven't experienced Kotlin Multiplatform before, so it also the reason I can try with this contest. So yes, I saw the contest before 2 weeks, the final submission, so I had to be a little bit in rush, so yes, I think 2 weeks was enough to learn and to build my project. So yes, I'm here now.
That's amazing. So you gave yourself 2 weeks. Had you heard of Kotlin before, or was this just something that you?
My background is Android development, so I had experience with Android and Kotlin. So, but I haven't tried. I haven't done SwiftUI or Kotlin Multiplatform expect actual declaration. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn these things before. So I think its learning curve is not too much big. So lots of documentation is enough to understand the concepts and start my project. Yes.
That's awesome. I would not imagine giving myself the challenge of 2 weeks to write a Kotlin Multiplatform project. That's awesome. And I'm also an Android developer, so hello, fellow friend. So Mati, how about you? How did you learn about the contest, and why did you decide to participate?
I've learned about the contest also from Twitter, but the story was somehow different. I mean, the app was developed like a year before, most of the app, and I wanted to try the multi-platform. Compose and as well learn how to program with the Jetpack Compose in mind. So to learn this concept and have some kind of a background in Android as well. Yeah, and I was able to prepare the whole application for the contest in a few days to upgrade all the libraries and make a new game, because the project is about the games. Yeah, and later on, I was even able to migrate this on iOS. So it's really a smooth path to get the next platforms involved to the project.
Awesome. And Brian?
I also had it 2 weeks to the finish date. Mm-hmm. Okay, I had to learn Kotlin Multiplatform and also Compose. I was using Views before, and now I had to learn all that. Make a project within the 2 weeks. A friend told me, I think he found it somewhere on Twitter or somewhere else and forwarded it to me and told me try out this, maybe you might win. Mm-hmm. I tried it and I got here.
Awesome. Well, what I love is that all three of you have quite different apps, and they span a wide range of, I think, both uses, domains, but also kind of interesting technical challenges. I think each of you has something very unique. Ahmed, can you talk a little bit about your app and why you chose that particular, I guess, problem to solve? Yeah.
Okay, my app name is called Do Good Mobile. So the aim is the app connect the volunteering ads and people who wants to be volunteer. There is a matching platform. So I was an leader in the Developer Students Club, Google Developer Students Club in my school last year. So we had to organize an event, and in each month, so we had to find a volunteer speaker for this event. So manually, we had to reach out to people via LinkedIn. So of course, we don't know their willingness to volunteer speech or their willingness. There are lots of people willingness to speech, but we don't know these people. So I try to build a platform who people register and say, I am available in these weeks. So you can send message, Gmail, or from anywhere. And also the organization who wants to publish their events. For example, we have one month later, we have events about these Android things. For example, Kotlin Multiplatform. Would you like to be volunteer speaker in our events? And this is a matching platform.
I love that. So that was based on your own personal experience of like trying to connect with people.
Yes, this is 100% our problem. We experience problem.
I love that, and trying to kind of smooth the process and make it a little bit easier through technology is really cool. Mati, how about you?
In my case, it was like some people brought the set game. I don't know if some of the people might not know. It's a card game where you have to match the colors, the shapes, and the feeling of the shapes on the cards. And I've learned about this game for the first time, and I tried to search for it on Google Store, Google Play, and I didn't find the actual implementation that would allow people to play actually like in the multi-user like using the internet. So online version of this game, and I decided to build it with the Compose to learn the Compose as well, and then it became like a kind of framework to build another games because it was so easy to integrate with some created interfaces. But what I wanted to include also in project was kind of a structure where I have fully shared code of the, let's say, domain. So it's not like in many examples we see that the shared code is shared between Android, for example, and an iOS. In my application, it's about sharing the code between clients, both of them, also the desktop one, but also about the sharing with the server domain. So I have designed the server, which is responsible for, let's say, the physics of all of the games, and the clients are just the front end of the actions that happen on the server. Yeah, so I wanted to, show the actual structure of such a project, how to publish or kind of app and deploy it using, in my case, the GitHub Actions, because that's what I like doing, let's say.
No, that's really cool. I, as someone who likes games and also kind of likes, and also you should actually definitely check out everyone's projects, but I like that, you have a lot of, I mean, in terms of just the entertainment value and just like the app itself, you have a lot of cool games all at once, but I do like the idea of having to kind of not only share the code, but also, as you said, split between the server and the client. It's a really interesting technical problem.
I'm also I've got like an idea yesterday to actually extract the physics from the server implementation to all of the people play offline if they want. So create the separate screens for the offline games and make it playable offline as well. Then the clients would reuse some part of the code that's strictly designed for the server for now.
That's awesome. And Brian, tell us a little bit about your app and why you chose to that particular app to work on.
Oh, for me, I had a interest in computer vision. I've always being interested in object detection, image classification, and I found a new domain called post detection, like maps your body as you do some action, and I decided to create a exercise application based on that, and it was, and through making the app, I also was able to use some of the Kotlin for data science libraries like Kotlin DL, and also the notebooks that have been launched today. I think then they were experimental. Yeah, I kind of wanted to also apply on that and then make it multi-platform on top of all that.
Oh wow! Okay, so you're actually even integrating the data, something like data science elements through the notebooks, and then also doing computer vision. I think it's really cool because also I'm kind of really big into exercise. So when I saw your app, I was like, oh, that's really cool. But also, obviously with computer vision, you had hardware considerations as well in camera. And was that an interesting challenge to kind of approach on both platforms?
Yeah, it was challenging. On Android, there is Camera X. It's easy, but when you go to the JVM, there was a library I had to use called webcam capture, but it's so easy to integrate in Compose, so it was not that hard.
Yeah. So Ahmed, on your app, I know on your project page, and also by the way, everyone's projects are available on GitHub. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So please go and check them out. But you had a very extensive, description of you went very into detail on the architecture and all the different, as an Android developer, all of our favorite things like DI and different architectures, MVI, MVVM. What do you think for you was the most interesting thing about kind of taking your experience as an Android developer and trying to use it multi-platform? What was the most difficult part, and what was you think was the most kind of rewarding, successful part?
So when we start a Kotlin Multiplatform project, the first question probably comes to our mind is what we share, what we should share. So the first answer comes with network and database layer is most basic part, but the requirements of the contest, how much you shared your code also is a plus point. So I saw some Medium article or approach about the sharing view models. So I tried to implement this app. I haven't tried to sharing view model before as well. So while using MVI, I put the shared view model inside the shared with intents. Afterwards, I connect the Android view model and iOS view model sites. So I could say the most hardest part is the sharing view model because there's not enough documentation for that. So yes, I can say that this part a little bit hard.
Brian, actually, I want to ask you in terms of also, so in terms of computer vision and kind of other elements like ML, did you have any like say performance or kind of other considerations like that? But because I mean, I think usually with, especially with two platforms that are so different, right? Was there anything that you had to do to kind of like really make it work well on two platforms, or?
Not really.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, because if it works on Android, maybe it will work on JVM. Right? There was not much performance consideration much. I also did not have the time to kind of go on performance, and I'll maybe look if I can improve on the JVM part.
Do you think, do you see any like really interesting opportunities kind of for more computer vision, or do you have like any ideas for future multi-platform projects?
I want to ship it to JS, multi-platform and compose on JS, but yeah.
That would be actually really cool, to see it on JS. Mati, what do you think is, and again, I kind of want to think about performance because obviously you're talking about physics-based rendering. Was there much in terms of separating out, again, as you mentioned, the physics on the server side and the client rendering? Again, I feel like I always talk about performance because that's kind of like a big deal. Were there any challenges with that, or do you think that's actually your solution to like the any kind of performance issues with physics and rendering, especially with like kind of client?
I was working on kind of mini games, so it's like I've started with this set game where you didn't need more than let's say 1 FPS, and then I tried to make some clones of the not Flappy Bird, but Dot Thunder Spikes, and this kind of snakes where you eat the other snakes, and then it became somehow challenging. First of all, it was about locking at the server, so every client could update the state of the game because he could move and make some updates. So here, I was trying to like reach the people here to actually maybe found a better solution, but I didn't find like better than I have, like looking for the change of the state. But the other part that I think it's really important is like the transport layer from the client, and that's what I use. I mean, I use the WebSocket clients from the Cater, and I think that really helps a lot to have a stable connection with the server, and we are able to configure this kind of connection really easily using Cater on both sides. So that's a big plus for the multi-platform. Yeah, I will definitely try to work more on the update state because updating status of each game, because I think it's now something about let's say 30 FPS, so it's playable, but you definitely have to use let's say 4G internet connection, and so it's demanding, but I would expect this. I mean, all of the online platform gamings require high speed connections.
Well, I think it's a very relevant problem because obviously there's a lot of cloud gaming, and we've heard about Stadia, and a lot of different manufacturers are coming out with cloud gaming devices. So I'd be excited to see kind of what breakthroughs you made, especially kind of in our little sphere of like mobile gaming. But I could talk. I really want to keep talking to y'all, but we only have so much time. And really, the full story of everyone's apps are online on GitHub. Also, check out the blog post on the multi-platform contest. But I really want to thank you all for joining us, and it's really awesome that you kind of like especially you two gentlemen taking 2 weeks to work on the project. I really appreciate like seeing what Kotlin Multiplatform could do. I was genuinely very surprised at the kind of broad, the very wide range of problems that you solved using Kotlin Multiplatform. And I'm really excited to see kind of like, what you continue to do and what other people can do. I think it really did show the possibilities of the platform. So that was really awesome. Very well done. And yeah, thank you all for joining us again. And yeah, we'll see you a little bit later. Bye.